All right, guys, I'm going to send you to, this is what we're going to be doing today. Actually, this is tomorrow's activity, excuse me. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing a performance task. Now, let me let you know about this performance task. It's not like language arts. It's not like English where you'll spend 4 to 5 days writing and reading and writing and reading. The performance task that we're going to have is going to literally take maybe 30 minutes to 55 minutes. We'll have a full period for you. We're going to go through what it's going to be talking about right now for tomorrow. And then after we're done talking about what's going to happen for tomorrow, you're going to take a practice one today on your own. And it's actually going to be a seventh grade one. And I'm going to get you started on that as well. I just want you to see the format today. I want you to get a sense of what's going on with the performance task. Okay. So as I look at this one here, first of all, it says for algebra. And you guys are eighth grade, but this algebra one is actually a really good one. And we decided that we're going to give it to all our students. It doesn't need to be just honors. It needs to be for everybody. And it's called Tickets, Please. And then this is what we are supposed to read through and have you guys make sure you have a good idea of what the task is talking about. No math related here, just the idea of the actual task, okay? So we're going to read through this whole task. Now, the first thing you need to see, excuse me, is this is an amusement park. And I'm not sure which park this is. It's got to be somewhere else. But it's an amusement park, and you have to know what an amusement park is and a theme park. Like, we'll talk about other theme parks in a little bit, but the purpose. The Tickets Please class activity and discussion provides students an opportunity to explore the idea of going to an amusement park, consider the effect of visiting the park more than one time, and understand the differences between a 2-day ticket and 1-day ticket. The class activity is also intended to generate interest in further exploration of key ideas. Okay? Now, key terms are key vocabulary that you need to know. Okay? So the key terms on this is you have to make sure you ask the students questions using the key terms as well. So hold on. First one here we have is a 2-day ticket. Purchasing this option allows the person to enter the amusement park on 2 different days. Recommendation. What does that mean? A recommendation, advice that helps someone to make a decision. Recommendations can happen all the time. People make recommendations for people, what they think they should, what classes they should take, or what they should do for a living. You recommend something for somebody else, okay? A budget, the total amount of money someone has to spend. Now, a budget, think of it almost like as a limit. You can't go over your budget. Your budget is there. You can't go over it. You're not allowed to go over your budget. You can go under budget, but a budget's always dealing with money. Your money that you have, okay? Always dealing with the amount of money you have to spend, all right? I make a budget all the time. Every month I have to pay my bills. I have to pay for my kids. I have to pay. There's so many different bills and other things I have to pay for, groceries. I budget for that. And then there is extra money, but you put that into savings or you end up buying something, that you want or need. There's all kinds of things, but you have to budget for that. And then the amusement park idea. You guys know what amusement parks are. A park that features various attractions such as rides and games, as well as other events for entertainment. Okay? All right, let's go down. The class activity and discussion. Oops, I don't want to zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Let me go ahead. Who can name an amusement park? And I want you guys to go ahead and raise your hand. Who can name in parks? All right, and I'm thinking Knott's Berry Farm was our most popular one. We go there at the end of the year for 8th grade. Disneyland, definitely popular, of course. Magic Mountain, okay. Other ones that aren't on here, Universal Studios is one. Great Wolf Lodge is one. Have you ever heard of that one? Even Legoland is one. SeaWorld is another one. Okay, so there's various amounts of them around us. All right, then this word facilitator means the teacher. So the teacher says who can name a park, and then students should respond this way. All right, here's the next one. What are some of the costs associated with going to an amusement park? What do you have to spend? Go ahead and hit pause, and then let's see if we can answer some questions. All right, and some of the costs are admission tickets, souvenirs, food, and I'm going to highlight this one too, parking. You guys forget about parking because you guys don't drive. But if your family was all going to an amusement park and you drive in, you got to park that car. And they don't let you park for free unless you have some crazy kind of way of parking somewhere. But they charge you for that parking. And they may charge that whole car of people like $20 or $10 just to park the car during the day. It's another way for them to make money on you coming. All right. What are some different types of admission tickets you can buy? Think about it. If you have a Knott's tickets, or people buy other things, it's like a Knott's, push pause and see if you guys think of any other types. Maybe like a Knott's season pass, right? So there's all kinds of different ways. Like, and sometimes different season passes. When you buy a season pass at Knott's or Disneyland, there's many different choices. You don't always pick the same kind of pass, because sometimes there's blackout days and you can't go on that day because you didn't buy the more expensive pass. Okay, so there's different things that happen. Some of the students responded with, it could be an adult ticket as well versus a child ticket. Think about the movie theater. When you can get a kid's ticket versus an adult ticket, it's cheaper. Student tickets, they do have those. 2-day tickets, season passes, like we were saying. There are all kinds of various ways to get to these parks. These theme parks want you to come, and they want to figure out what way would be best for you to come for your family. Why is having a budget important when visiting an amusement park? Okay, why is having a budget important? Let's think about that for a second, push pause, and then let's take some responses. All right, I think a budget is important because it's just going to help you not, spend ridiculous amounts of money, because it's so easy to spend money at these parks. And sometimes when people are on vacation, they forget that money exists and they just spend money like crazy. You have to have a budget, because eventually you're not going to have money for your bills and whatnot if you don't have a budget and you're spending it all at the amusement park. Okay. This last one's very important too. What does it mean to give a recommendation? Guys, think about that and go ahead and answer in a second. It means to give advice or suggestions to help make a decision. If I was struggling on something, I didn't know which way to decide on something, I might ask somebody, hey, what do you think? Which is another word for just saying, hey, what do you recommend? What do you recommend? What do you suggest? What is your advice? All those things mean the same thing. Okay, it's a fancier word for just saying a suggestion or advice. So in a performance task, if it asks for a recommendation, you better give a recommendation. You better give some advice or suggestion of what they should do. You guys, I'm going to be very upset if you guys are doing this task, because I have to read every single one of them and you don't even understand or take this part serious. You must make a recommendation. You must give some kind of advice. All right. It's very important. That's what we want to read. That's what we want to. We want to see your brain on the screen when we're reading the answers. We want to see how your brain's thinking. Okay. And what you would recommend. All right. So make sure you take time on that part for sure. And other than that, that is the rest of what we were supposed to go over this. And this is very important to me. Okay, make sure that recommendation part comes in. Now what I want you to do, we're going to go ahead and pass out the practice performance task, and I want you to take a look at that. So here it is, and it says, let's paint a room. And you notice it's a 7th grade task, okay? And this first page, there's nothing you have to write on at all. You are going to look at this page, and guys, if you could help me out. Oh, I should have almost done this. You're going to go back to this page and reference this page many times, okay? So you may want to go back and forth, but you are going to look at this page many times. So here we go. Let's read this together. Your friend Sam wants to paint her room. Sam's a girl. She wants to paint the ceiling white and the 4 walls purple, okay? People do paint the ceilings. You are helping Sam determine the cost and the amount of time needed to paint her room. The room is shaped like a rectangular prism with a height of 8, a length of 12, and a width of 10 as shown below, okay? Now, this is very important information. This is her room. They give you this. Everything on this sheet you're going to have to use in some way. And it says down here, additional information about Sam's room. Let me get the way here. The door has an area of 22 square feet. The room has 2 square windows, and each window opening is 2 feet by 2 feet. Okay, so it's talking about the door here, and then it's talking about these 2 windows. All right, now that you have that information, we're going to go to question 1. You're going to do the best you can. Now, when I talk to you about this, and I'll walk around and help the others that are struggling with this, because I don't want you just to stare at this and not know what's going on. The first question, let me just tell this really quickly. The first 3 questions usually are pretty straightforward. I'm not going to say they're easy. I'm just going to say that they're pretty straightforward. All you would have to do is reference the first page here and hopefully get your answers from this. And I'm going to show you what I mean here with the first question. It says, what is the area in square feet of the ceiling? And now I'm not going to tell you the answer, but you need to remember what area means, okay? An area is base times height or length times width, depending on what you're looking at. Area of the ceiling would be this length here times this length, okay? Think about in a room, if you're in the classroom and you wanted to put carpet all over your classroom, you would measure from the door to where the whiteboard wall is, and then you measure from the cupboards to the other side of the wall, and you would go ahead and multiply those two numbers. You're multiplying. When you find out an area, you're multiplying two numbers, okay? Now, me and Mr. Mundo are going to walk around during this time. You're going to do the best you can and answer each question, read each question slowly, okay? If you go to the backside, 4 and 5 are ones that you have to think a little more, and I really do like 5. Now, guys, let me get this clear. Tomorrow, we will not be helping you. Tomorrow, we will not get to read it with you. You have to read, and you have to try to comprehend and understand what questions are being asked, okay? So you have to read. So this last part says, Sam says this. Give an explanation to convince Sam that she is incorrect. Explain why she's wrong, okay? You must explain why they're wrong. So tomorrow, you may have to recommend something for the family. We'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit, and then the whole period tomorrow, you're going to be doing the performance task. All right, guys, best of luck.